first, I mean, we love the band. They're great. They're a great band musically. Really nice guys, personally. You know, they did the States with us, but we also thought that it would be cool to bring them out once again over here in Europe, just because they have a very good reputation and following. And once again, they're good for the bill. They're good to just support this whole musical, you know, endeavor as such. So definitely we wanted to go with Opeth. And then additionally, we have a band called Big Al that's out with us, and I personally love them. I think they're amazing. They're very much like, to me, they're much like Jethro Tull, Deep Purple, even a bit of like Black Sabbath, even at times a band that used to be around called Jellyfish, or they remind me of them. There's some nuances that kind of remind me of them. And then there's another band called Unexpect, and they're quite very interesting, very unorthodox. Their approach to music and their compositions, I think for progressive heads, there's going to be a lot of appreciation for them, and then there's going to be some that at first I think are a little kind of awestruck and trying to wrap their head around it. But I think what they're doing is very cool. It's very unique. Well, I think that Dream Theater, we've always been that kind of a band. We've always been progressive metal. I mean, even as far back as our album Awake, it was, you know, it had extreme progressive elements throughout the album, but at the same time it was very aggressive. It was very cutting with the guitar, and huge guitar, and aggressive vocals, and huge drums, and you know, it was just like a very bombastic kind of ride at times. So I think that we've always kind of had that musical style to what we represent. So coming to Roadrunner, I think what it did, if anything, it gave us, it was a vehicle to really get us out there in a much wider audience, just because they're making it aware, because Roadrunner has really been pushing, whereas previous we didn't necessarily get the support that we felt that we deserved as far as getting our music out there and to be heard and to be seen and to be in the faces of as many people as possible. So I think Roadrunner was very instrumental in just making people blatantly aware that we do exist, if you've never heard of us before, and then also coming to realize that the music is very metal oriented. Because I mean, you know, on any given night you can look out at our crowd, and it goes, the demographics are anywhere from a 14-year-old to a 65-year-old. So that kind of tells you that, you know, the music itself is very eclectic to garner that kind of an audience. We all felt pretty strong about the album personally, and we just thought that, you know, this is something that we can be very proud of. It was exactly where we wanted to be with our music at this particular point in our career, and we thought that it would be well received, but not to the level that it was. I mean, you know, we had the highest charting in Billboard in the States at number 6, and you know, we thought, well, we'll be lucky, you know, even if we were to come in number 10, that would be amazing. To get up to number 6 was very, very cool. And then internationally, it charted extremely well, and it pushed a lot of units, and more than we were ever to foresee, you know, that kind of numbers go out. So yeah, it's been fantastic. It's a great place to be, definitely. Well, I think first and foremost, not to sound corny or cliche, I think it's because we're still passionate about what we do. I think we truly do still love doing what we do, and we do care about the music, and we do try to better ourselves each and every time, and we truly do push ourselves each and every time we are back into the studio. So, you know, I think that it comes from just us feeling that we still have a lot to offer, that we still have a lot to experience and to create, and there's still a lot of music that I think that it still needs to, it still needs to be tapped into as far as who and what we are. And I think it's really limitless as to where we can go. I think the beauty of it is that we are expected to not be predictable. We are expected to experiment and to push the envelope, so to speak, and to not have any boundaries to wherever we feel that at that particular moment we want to go musically. So I think that really allows us to be completely free in the creative sense, and that allows us to be who and what we are. Well, I mean, at this point, yeah, definitely. I mean, we're out touring throughout Europe until I think we finish in Slovenia October 31st. And then from there, we are taking a bit of a break, and then we're going to go to New Zealand and Australia in December. And then from there, not sure. I think there's talk of going to South America, Mexico, those areas. And then as far as from that on, I guess we need to discuss it as an organization as to what we feel we need to do at that particular point, or where we think we need to go touring-wise. But I mean, at this point, it's all about just staying focused on we're out here in support of Black Clouds and Silver Linings, and that's the focus at this point. Take me far away. Well, I mean, obviously, the only reason that you and I are having this conversation is because of the fact that we have people out there that love our music and they believe in what we do and they stick with it. And it's been a elongated career, because with this kind of music, I think that it tends to attract people that are in it for the whole run. They want to go through all the chapters of this particular band's career, and it's not unlike what I felt like when I was growing up, and growing up with a band like Rush or Yes or Pink Floyd or Genesis or Led Zeppelin or whatever. I wanted to have what they were putting out, and to be always aware of what it was that they were doing, or where they were going to be, or what next was on the horizon for them. So I think our fans are amazing, and they've allowed us to do something that was a childhood dream. Hey, it's an amazing situation.